Hello. So I've been wanting to share my story with you guys, but it hadn't felt like the right time. After last night and receiving messages today, I really feel like God's leading me to kind of share my story a little more with you guys than I've actually, shared. Oh, my thing's falling. Hold on. I've always been so insecure. My whole life, I've been very insecure. I worry way too much what people think about me. Very paranoid, very untrusting. Was always fearful my friends were talking about me when I would leave from being around them. As I got older, with social media, every single time I would post something, I'd be scared that people would think I was being fake or phony or stupid, silly. I've had a lot of past regrets and mistakes in my life that the devil uses on me every single day to remind me how much I've fallen and what a failure I've been. That makes more insecurity because then you feel very inadequate to do anything at all. I've always felt very inadequate to speak out about God or anything like that. So it's been something that has been a big struggle, especially for the past 5 or 6 years. It's been a bad struggle, and but before that, I felt like God did have a calling on my life to do something for Him, but I just have held back out of fear, out of failures, and feeling of fear of rejection and fear of looking hypocritical or being fake, whatever you want to call it. Anyways, that's held me back from a lot. It's held me back in my business. It's held me back from working for Him. It's held me back from doing what He really has called me to do in my life. So, back in January of this year, I received a message from a lady that I had never met before, but we were friends on Facebook, and my mama, saying that God wanted to tell me something, and it was so strong that she would keep trying to call my cell phone because she just felt really like He was really laying it on her to get a hold of me. I was like, okay, I'm always up for whatever God wants to say. That was on a Monday. She's 5 hours behind me, so we didn't talk that day. The next morning on the way to work, I was listening to a devotional, and Beth Moore talked about fear. And whatever you're most fearful of, the devil will use to hold you back from so much. Whether it be fear of something happening to your children, then, that's probably kept you from doing a lot and letting your kids do a lot. And fear from loving. Maybe you've been hurt in a relationship and you're scared to love somebody again, and that's held you back. That's held you back from experiencing love. And especially mine would be fear of what people think. And that has held me back from so much, I know. And she said, whatever you're most fearful of, the devil will use against you. So I started thinking, what am I most fearful of? And it come in my mind. You worry too much what people think of you. That's your biggest fear, and that has held you back from a lot. So I told God that morning, that's it. I'm declaring war on it. I'm getting rid of it. But I've said that before, so honestly, I didn't really think no more about it. Later that day at work, the lady called me. We finally got together, and she was telling me that she just wanted to let me know that the past year she had had a death. Her son had died of cancer. He was only 31 years old. It was a terrible, terrible thing that she went through, but she wanted to let me know that over that past year she had really found strength in some of my Facebook posts, that she would go and see what I was up to, that, she said I would have a bad day, and I would think, what's that crazy Christina done today? So she would go look and all, and I was listening to her and taking it all in, and I was thanking her for telling me that, because I do struggle a lot with Facebook especially. Like, that's been something that's really, been one of my worst enemies, but also one of my best friends. So, I said, thank you. She said, but I need to tell you something. She said, God keeps telling me to tell you this. I'm telling Him, I'm scared you're going to think I'm crazy. I've held back from telling you because I don't want you to think I'm crazy. And she said, I don't know if it means anything to you at all, but He wants me to tell you what other people think of you is none of your business. And at that point, I just started bawling. She had no clue, no way of knowing what me and God had talked about that morning, no way of knowing what I had struggled with for so long. And that day was such a breakthrough back in January, just a few months ago. Such a breakthrough, of what I really have been wanting to do, or what God has been wanting me to do. So, since then, my whole life has changed. Completely changed. Of course, the devil's trying to attack me with fear, especially what people think. When I went to conference for my business, I sat out there in that back row, and I thought, I can do this. I can can help other people, and I can change lives. Because for 3 years, I haven't allowed myself to believe that. I have not allowed myself to see myself successful because fear of failure. I didn't want to see myself as successful and then be disappointed. I have not put it out there that I am going to be ambassador. I might have put it out there, but I sure didn't believe it. I didn't believe anything I had on my dream board at all. So as I sat there on that back row, I had a vision that I was standing before God, and that He told me that He had so many people for me to help, and that in my life I was supposed to be used to help bring people closer to Him and to help change lives, but I was too scared of what people thought of me. And I'm standing there in that vision, and I'm looking at God like that, and He's saying, you worried way too much what people on Facebook thought about you, and you worried way too much what others thought about you, and I had a job for you to do. And I knew that it was time to stop letting fear rule my life. And from that point on in January, that's how I've lived. And I'm here to tell you today that whatever fear's holding you back from, it is robbing you, completely robbing you of freedom. Freedom in Jesus, freedom in life, freedom from so much, whether it be fear of something happening to your children, fear of something happening to your marriage, fear of letting somebody love you, fear of going out and getting that job that you wanted, fear of going back to school, fear of doing a business, starting a home business, fear of starting a business from the ground up in a building, fear of getting out and seeing the world. Whatever you're most fearful of, it is robbing you, and it is holding you back, and the devil is using it so that you cannot fulfill your God-ordained destiny. And I'm here to tell you that today, that you got to get a grip on that. You have got to decide once and for all that you will not let fear rule anymore. That it's done. That it's over with. You got to get with God and do it. And I want you to know, if you're watching this video, I am on my knees when I turn this recording off, praying for you. Praying that you understand what I'm trying to tell you, because I have lived in fear my whole life, and it has robbed me from the past 35 years, but it won't anymore. It will not anymore. And I know that the devil attacks me, and I imagine myself, I'm not kidding you guys, I have messed up so bad in my life, and I have been such a failure, that I am so desperate for God that I imagine myself like a hawk with these claws, and I'm clinging on to Him. I imagine a baby that clings on for dear life to their mama when they're trying to hand that baby to somebody else. That's what I imagine of me. And you got to get like that. You got to get so deep rooted in Him that fear's not an option anymore. And that your faith is, that you're clawed so close to Him that you know that He's going to take care of you. Because you ain't letting go. God knows it. You know it. The devil knows it. He's going to know it. I don't care what he attacks me with. And see, right then he just attacked and said, I felt like, it was almost like I was kind of setting it up to be attacked. But whatever. I thought it turned off. I'm so sorry. That's all I have to say, really. I'm praying for you guys on my knees right now. I know this was a long video, but I had to put it out there.